Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We found out who was the pilot of that Black Hawk helicopter in Washington, D.C., who flew a training flight and accidentally hit that passenger airplane. Before we go and disclose her name, I would like to go over Donald Trump's presidential orders, executive orders, regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion. He did that, and then after the accident, we were not being told who was at the helm of the helicopter, and for a reason, they kept it secret for a while. You remember Trump came out, and when he signed that executive order, I made a video on that, when he was asked by a jackal, so-called, how do you call these guys, operatives in the media, journalists they're called, I think, or they want to be called as. He was asked, do you think that race played a role in, and he said, might be, might have, might, I don't know. Or do you think that gender, he said, I don't know, might be. I'm not saying that's the way it is, but accidents happen. We all make mistakes. But when I warn you that if you go that way, this is what's going to happen, and it happens, I don't really accept accidents. Oh, it was just an accident, a coincidence. It could happen to anyone. No, because I warn you. If this country goes that way, you understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand, go and rewind what I said. If you go this way with the country and hire based on certain things, then you're going to have idiocracy right here. The pilot was decorated. She, unfortunately, sorry for her family, and for the guys in the helicopter and in the plane, she was a decorated 28-year-old female wannabe pilot. She was a Biden White House aide. She was decorated with 3 medals and a ribbon. I will show you. Good for her. What war exactly she fought? Why are you decorated at 28? I've been at 28. At 24, you just graduate college. So you have 4 years to get decorated with 3 medals plus a ribbon? All right. This irritates me, because this country, I thought this was based, and I feel very much lied, as a human being, personal, lied based on meritocracy. Yes, meritocracy here and there, but like this. All right, let's see. This article comes from The Telegraph. It is from February 1st, 2025. Oh, by the way, sorry, I should have started with this. Happy Black History Month to everybody over there. Let's celebrate. I was kidding. Let's go. Black female Hawk helicopter pilot in Washington, D.C. air crash tragedy named. All right. My poor woman, that's the way it is. It happens, I guess, but that's, you have to be, I think it's called murder by, not in this case, but it's not related to this. Murder by negligence. It's still murder. You know what I mean? All right. The female pilot killed in the Army helicopter collision with a passenger jet in Washington, D.C. has been named as former aide to President Joe Biden. Captain Rebecca Lobach, 28-year-old, whose identity was kept secret, had served as an officer for almost 6 years and worked as a White House aide in the Biden administration. So she's captain. She became a captain she was an officer for 6 years. She's 28. She's a captain at 28. For me, these ranks are really, how can you be, I don't know. She has been awarded, now brace yourselves, she is more accomplished than all of us, Army Commendation Medal, a medal, Army Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal. What happened that I don't know? An Army Service Ribbon. So she She was doing a training. I'm going to read more. The Black Hawk helicopter was conducting a training flight for Captain Lobach when it collided with an American airline passenger. So they were conducting a training flight over Washington, D.C. Now, there were two more people in the helicopter when this thing happened. She was being overseen by Chief Warrant Officer 2 Andrew Lloyd Eves, who had more than 1,000 hours of flying experience and would have been expected, that's his fault right there, to take over the controls in the event of an emergency. Maybe it was not an emergency. So here it is, according to some. All 3 soldiers on the Army aircraft were killed in the crash above Ronald Reagan International Airport, as well as I feel very sorry. The other person was a crew chief from the helicopter, identified as Ryan O'Hara, 28-year-old father of 1. So I want to read something more here. The decision to release her name came, and I'm quoting, at the request of and in coordination with the family, according to a statement issued by U.S. Army. Well, if I would have some family member dying in the jet, how do you call it? I can find passenger jet. I want to know who the fucker was operating the helicopters, wouldn't you? And I would like everybody else to know who was that made the accident that some people warned. Not this particular accident. I'm not trying to look down on her. Her fault is that, not her fault. Her lack of chance was that she was, I think, where she probably was not supposed to be at her age. But anyway, and I'm quoting, we are devastated by the loss of our beloved Rebecca. She was a bright star in our lives. Her family said in a statement, Rebecca was a warrior and would not hesitate to defend her country in battle. I wouldn't defend either, but I would like to know, and I'm a bad person, I would like to know this, more than everything else. National Defense Service Medal. You just get it like candies. I feel sorry for the crew. I feel sorry for the families. I feel sorry for the 67 passengers, their families, and all that. But where I come from and what I've been told when I came here and before I came here to the United States of America was that this is where justice is, and freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and nobody tells you what to do, and people are equal, and we're going to find out, who did it. Criminals are caught and punished. So I would like to make sure if this tragedy, where Rebecca was part of, that was a tragedy for her as well, obviously, if that would go to some policies, who made certain policies? And they will maybe conduct an investigation to find out how did she get to do this. For me, it's mind-boggling that she was conducting a training session over Washington, D.C., not Arizona or New Mexico, where I know trainings occur. Washington, D.C. Is it because... Okay, I'm not going to go into that. My point is this. Remember when we have and I've been yapping about this many, many times, the Congress people, men and women, that is the senators and the House of Representatives members, they can't just, or the White House staff or administration, you can't just come up with an ordinance, a mandate, a order, even a law voted by the elected officials that results, the consequences, some consequences, negative consequences of those kind of laws and policies are going to be seen in the near future. That is, and I'm not talking about this example, people who should not be in certain positions are promoted because of the, let's say, certain policies like DUI. You remember what that is? Okay, DUI, not DEI, DUI. So for certain policies promoted by some, as in the federal government, for instance, employees, consequences happen. You can say, well, Emil, come on now, it happened one time. Okay, then we should ban it. And you say, well, whoa. Do you remember when we have, unfortunately, mass murders, like 4 people, 6 people, 10 people were killed by crazy? What do they say? Guns. So what are we going to do? Let's ban helicopters, using the same imbecilic logic. So when Trump came and said, I'm going to get rid of DEI and all that, I totally agree with that. I want merit, ability, capability, how do you call it, competence, to be the main and the only reason why a person gets a job. Not because I kiss her ass, not because I identify as, not because I have 2 balls and a cock or a pussy. That should not play a role. And unfortunately, it's going to be seen again. I guarantee you that. Because there are many people who were promoted, I know for a fact, based on, not on merit, but on certain attributes that should not play a role in the promotion of those people. And inefficiency and people who are not capable will be in positions where things will happen. And I always refer you to that movie called Idiocracy, and you're going to understand a lot. It looks dumb, the movie, but if you know something about the society, you're going to find that funny and on the like bittersweet. On one hand you say, well, that's funny, but then you say, well, this is reality and it's coming fast to the United States of America. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.